is practicing Ashtanga Yoga, he knows that this is the ultimate goal of my practice. Most object of meditation, object of love, object of attention, everything, most attractive person. God, you can get to absorb yourself in Him. This is the goal of yoga. This is the goal of yoga. So, this description is about the yogi meditating on the laughter of the Lord, the smile of the Lord. And that is the most captivating feature of the Lord. So, I think I've earlier explained Chaitanya Charitamrita very nicely describes this. It is not an ordinary thing to be able to get to see Krishna and be in the right mode and absorb yourself in Him. Many people get darshan of Krishna, but they get what they asked for. They get what they asked for. But to be absorbed, dhyana vastita tatgatena manasa pashyanti ayam yogina. Dhyana, by meditation, pashyanti is able to see, actually see, and appreciate every feature of the Lord, His beautiful smile. This is special reward given by Krishna. Then only you can do it. And it is a fruit of endeavor of devotional service. It is the end of devotional service. It is the award you got for performing devotional service to the Lord. In the end, this is what you get. So sometimes people ask us and tell us, no, we are not supposed to enjoy. We are not supposed to enjoy devotional service. Why not? Why not? Of course, yes. Why will you do devotional service? If there is no anandamayo pyasa, if there is no ananda and bliss for me, why will I do? Of course, there is great enjoyment in devotional service for the soul. That is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita also. That the devotee enjoys association in Krishna. But you cannot normally do it. We are all materialistic enjoyers. If you start enjoying Krishna with that same mode, then everything goes kaput. In order to be able to enjoy devotional service to Krishna and enjoy meditation on the form of Krishna, you should be in love with Krishna. Unless you are in love with Krishna, you'll just be materially enjoying it, which in any case will not last and will not happen. Okay, so being in love with the Lord, that's why it's mentioned here. With devotion steeped in love and affection, the yogi should meditate within the core of his heart upon the laughter of Lord Vishnu. So we heard the laughter of Lord Vishnu when he came as Narsimha, Attahasa, it is mentioned. Solid laugh. Attahasa. His hasa is Attahasa. Various types of laugh. He also laughed when he saw Paundraka with his four hands and came to him. This Bhagavatam described, he started laughing. Looking at Paundraka, stupid fellow. And then he was actually sticking two hands with this thing. So he laughed there also. Krishna laughed. And when he came as Narsimhadev also is known to have laughed and sent shivers down. Then he also smiled. Before this was smile meditation, now it's laughter meditation. When the Lord talks, it is mentioned, it is like thunder. His voice is like thunder. You can imagine thunder. Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai ki. Thunder, rumbling of thunder. That's a description in Nectar of Devotion. Voice of the Lord is like a rumbling of thunder. It will be how he will be when he laughs. And there's a description of the voice and his smile. It's mentioned here like jasmine buds. His teeth are like jasmine buds. and his rosy lips reflect on the cheeks, on the teeth, and the teeth look rosy. Same way it is also mentioned that his cheeks reflect the Makara Kundala because of the complexion he has. Dark, like a rain-bearing cloud complexion. And the complexion is not just color alone. Complexion does not mean color. Complexion means texture and color and everything together. So if you just imagine this Makara Kundala gets reflected on his cheeks. It means it's not like a mirror, but it gets reflected on his complexion. His earrings get reflected on his this thing. And here it is mentioned that his lips are reflected on his teeth. So therefore the teeth look rosy. In another place it's mentioned that his teeth are like pomegranate seeds. When he has chewed pan and he smiles, his teeth are like pomegranate seeds. Very nicely shaped. So these descriptions are very amazing because they're all descriptions of the supreme absolute truth, personality of Godhead. The Acharyas have described this in great detail from their own meditations, especially the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, the Goswamis. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is described in great detail all these things. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita also he describes that the Lord is like a moon, and it is mentioned that 22 and a half moons exist on his body. And his face is like the king of moons. His whole body is like a throne, Simhasanam. And on the Simhasana is located the person, means his face. His face is like the king of all moons. All moons means the tips of his fingers are like moons. 10 moons on his fingers, 10 moons on his feet. Each of his toes and fingers and his legs are also like moons. And then his face is the king of all moons. His forehead is like a moon. The Chandan, this thing on it is like a moon. This is all described. So his face is the king. And the best part of it is, so his face, Vadanam Madhuram, Vapurasya Vibho. Vapu means his body is sweet, Madhuram. But more sweeter than that is his face. Vapur, Vadanam Madhuram, face. Vapurasya Vibho, his body is Vapu. Then it says, more sweeter than that, Adharam Madhuram, his lips. In his face, what is more attractive is his lips, which is being reflected on his cheek. Then greater than that, right? Madhuram Madhuram Vapurasya Vibho. Adharam Madhuram Madhugandhi Mridu Smirtade Tamaho. Honey dripping smile. Madhugandhi means dripping honey. Smritad etamaho, that is his smile. Madhuram, 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 Madhuram. Oh, that is the sweetest of everything. His smile is described like that. Then it goes ahead to say, his smile is so wonderful. Then he puts a flute to his lips. That is when the gopis go mad. Hearing the sound from the flute, they go mad. But they go even more envious, thinking of the flute. How did he get the chance to associate with the lips of Krishna? Useless fellow, you got holes in you, just a piece of bamboo. How did you get the chance? they are feeling. So the flute is considered to be most fortunate because he gets kissed by the lips of Krishna constantly. And through that, he's blowing and playing the flute. In this way, there's a description of the form of the Lord. I'm just very short, crunching it together. So, meditating on the form of the Lord, it is not simply imaginary. It's not imaginary. You're not asked to imagine a form of the Lord, like the Mayavadis say. It is meant for you to focus. Therefore, you can imagine anything you want because ultimately everything is nothing. It's only immature people who are in their initial stages need something to meditate on. So you meditate. This is wrong. The Lord has got a form. And by meditation on that form only you get fixed. It is real. It's very beautiful. And that is a detailed description given here. Lord Chaitanya would meditate and go into ecstasy. The lips of Krishna, the saliva from his mouth having been part of the prasadam, and therefore eating the prasadam, he would go into ecstasy thinking from the lips of Krishna. Saliva touched this food. And he would go into ecstasy thinking about it. So, meditation on the reality, meditation on the form of the Lord can create such fantastic emotions in you because it's real. Because it's real. It's not fictitious. It's not an imagination. So, you don't have to meditate on this red light. Some people, Prabhupada mentioned previously in the purport. Or just meditate on Om. It's an impersonal manifestation. But you can directly meditate on the form of the Lord and instantly it will give you great happiness. That is being described here by Kapila. That is being described. This is what the devotees of the Lord are meditating. For devotees, when you meditate on the smile of the Lord, you see deities in many temples in ISKCON, you closely meditate on Krishna. If you see, he's got a mysterious smile, which you will not notice when you see first. If you focus, and in this you can see the smile. Amazing smile it is. Slight smile. Very slight. And it is mentioned for devotees, if you meditate on that form of the Lord, that smile of the Lord, Dvamshana Smita, the gopis are saying, you destroy the pride of the devotees with your smile. One who meditates on the smile of the Lord will lose his pride and become very humble and surrendered to Krishna. That is what the smile does to you. So when we come for darshan, devotees are not simply taking darshan, doing their beautiful prayer and going in. They are meditating on the smile of the Lord. They're seeing the lotus feet of the Lord. All this gives them tremendous spiritual benefit. Deity worship and temple is very, very beneficial if you know how to utilize. So meditation on the Lord that the yogi does, you can stand here and do. When we take darshan of the Lord, that's why you're moved by seeing, because the Lord also is waiting there for you to see Him. He's giving darshan to you. Don't think that He's not doing any work standing there. He's actually, out of His mercy, making Himself accessible and available to the conditioned soul. We have to take advantage. This is meditation. This does not mean that we stand in front of the deities all the time and go in tears and, sentimentally do something. That's also dangerous. It's not that you told me I meditate on the smile, I'm standing and meditating, it's been 2 hours. Let me meditate. Prabhupada told such a devotee, enough, go and distribute the books. Go. You're not in that stage of meditation. You take darshan, you meditate a little bit, you go and do your work. You have to be Adrukshor Munir Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate Yoga Rudhasya Tasyaiva. Very clearly mentioned by Krishna. In the beginning stages, work is very important for the yogi. Engaging your senses, mind, everything in work. Adrukshor Yogarudasya, when he has achieved devotion to the Lord, he can simply absorb himself. Madhavendra Puri was sitting there in Govinda Kund, completely absorbed. Because he was internally going through a very intense absorbed status in Krishna. If we try to do that, our mind will just go bonkers artificially. So we engage ourselves with our mind, with our words, with our body, with our senses. That's yoga, karma yoga. We are not in the so here the very high status of a yogi with deep love and affection is able to do that. You can see pure devotees of the Lord, they have achieved that status of meditation and obsessed thinking of the Lord, which is called Samadhi, totally absorbed. These are the devotees in Braja, in Vrindavan. They are fully absorbed in Krishna. They do everything for Krishna. Even cleaning themselves, dressing themselves, they do for Krishna only. There's nothing, my element, me element is not at all there in their life. They're so much in love with Krishna, so much absorbed and obsessed with Krishna. That is why Krishna gives himself to them safely. He can place himself with them. So they also go through amazing reactions seeing the smile of Krishna. When Krishna was lifting the Govardhan hill, he was giving sidelong glances, which in this description in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says that his eyes, blossoming eyes, right up to ears, his eyes are like bow. His glance is the arrow. When he gives a sidelong glance, arrow shoots out from his looks and it pierces the heart of the gopis and they become totally entrapped. They become killed by his beauty. Shot. So when he's lifting the hill, the gopas are warning Krishna, don't look at Radharani. You're lifting the hill with your little finger and looking at Radharani, be total disaster. Total disaster. And she tells that Radharani is told, you don't look at Krishna. If you look, he look, both of you look at each other, the hill will fall down. And you will become agitated when you see Radharani. So we know what will happen. You don't look, you don't look. These friends of Radharani were saying, stealing a glance at Krishna, and then the boys were telling Krishna, Krishna, don't look. Because Krishna also gets equally disturbed by Radharani's beauty. That is another realm of discussion. For conditioned souls, normally it's not so easy to get into it. But we can understand, at least at this stage, the form of the Lord is real and it's extremely beautiful. It's unimaginable to the conditioned soul. Achintya Rupam. Unimaginable. But here, an effort is being made by Kapila to describe it. How beautiful it looks. How beautiful it be. So, we cannot just very casually take it. We cannot, our mind is so crazy that we immediately compare it to some beauty which we have seen in the material world. Immediately, we'll map it like that. We lose transcendental beauty. It's a transcendental smile. It's transcendental laughing, very attractive. So you will see this described in many places in the Vedic literature. How the Lord is laughing. His laugh is very attractive. By meditating on that laughing and that smiling, we can get purified. So meditation is a calculated, focused effort that gives you benefit. Why? Because you're meditating on the form of the Lord. That is the only object of meditation. Not red light, not some object, any object you can meditate on. This is all pankam. It's never mentioned anywhere. You can see this is described here. This is the topmost meditation. So learning how to do that means that we know about Krishna, we hear his pastimes, we hear descriptions of his beautiful form, we hear his glories, we hear him being glorified. Gradually, by purification of our heart, our consciousness, we can appreciate the beauty of Krishna. Because otherwise, we are all normally appreciating according to the three modes affecting us. This is beyond the three modes. So you have to be beyond the three modes in order to actually appreciate that. That's why as long as we are under the three modes, when we see the Lord, we will see he looks like so and so film actors. It looks like Radharani looks like this, and Krishna looks like. Immediately come into your mind like that, instantly, and you feel very happy about it also. You don't know what you're doing. This is the modes. Modes means according to sattva, rajas, and tamas affecting you, you will appreciate that type of beauty. If you're affected, if you're enamored by tamasika guna, then that type of so-called arrangement makes you feel, this is very nice, very beautiful. Somebody else who is in sattvic guna will say, nonsense, what are you saying, this is beautiful. And for him, for rajasika guna, it's different. So according to the gunas affecting you, you will also have that standard of beauty. You'll also have that standard of beauty. The funny thing is, in India especially, where people are exposed to sattvika guna and beauty of sattvika guna, unfortunately get exposed to all rajasic and tamasic activities from the rest of the world, especially the Western world. And they reorient their standard of beauty. They think, oh, this is what is beautiful. Because in America they say so. Because in America they do so. I will also adopt it. And although they don't like it, they adopt it. And they learn to like it. In this way, they completely screw up their original position of being in a situation where you can appreciate transcendental beauty. If you're in goodness, it's easy for you to appreciate, at least to some extent, transcendental beauty. But if you're in tamagun, you'll never get it. You never get it. So if you look at how we appreciate, Miss World, Miss India, and all that, they go around judging. I often wondered, what is your basis for judging? It is two, three people who make the judgment. Two, three people make the judgment. And who are they? They are guys who drink every day, who do this, and all that. And according to their judgment, they're very beautiful. Full marks. And then the whole world, this is what is the standard of beauty. So it should be beautiful. So the world's judgment is under the gunas. And they will never be able to see the transcendental beauty of Krishna. Only if you are a devotee, and by Krishna's blessing, by devotees' blessing, by Guru's blessing, you are able to purify yourself of the effect of modes, then you can actually be shown the beauty of Krishna, and then you may appreciate it. It is not even the Brahman platform that he is appreciating. It's not that this yogi is on the Brahman platform, free from matter, that he is able to appreciate Krishna. No, he is on a state of bhakti with deep love and affection. He is able to see the Lord and his beauty. Only a devotee can appreciate the beauty of the Lord. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So it is locked. Even a Brahman realized person cannot appreciate the beauty of the Lord. It's only a devotee. You may be free from matter and material contamination, still you may not be able to appreciate the beauty of the Lord. That's the amazing thing. When the four Kumaras went to Vaikuntha, for the first time they were able to appreciate the beauty of Narayana. It's mentioned there. Oh, beautiful. A Brahman realized. But the first time they saw Narayana, and it's mentioned Narayana came out with Lakshmi to show his beauty to the four Kumaras and get them attracted. Now you have come to Vaikuntha. Your Brahman realized, here, see. And he showed his beautiful 400 form. And they were stunned because they were busy cursing the Jaya and Vijaya. And in between he came. All these things happened. And their mind totally changed. And they saw the beauty of Narayana. His beautiful countenance, his eyes, and his very merciful look, and his very nice walk. All this is described with Lakshmi next to him, who is super beautiful. When they saw, their heart completely changed. They became devotees. Just then they became devotees. And there was an act particularly engineered by the Lord to make the Kumaras attracted. And it was a special prize he gave them. He came all the way to Vaikuntha. And anyway, you are not contaminated by matter. This is the right time for you to get attracted to my form. In this way, only a devotee can appreciate the beautiful form of the Lord. So, in order to appreciate the form of the Lord and enjoy, a person at least should become a devotee. Because what are you talking about? The most beautiful object in the entire creation of the Lord is the Lord Himself. Asamaurdhva Rupashri Vismapita Charachara. Asamaurdhva Rupashri. No equal to that beauty. Vismapita Chara. Stunning, bewildering beauty. No chance of any of these judges going there and finding out and giving marks. Impossible. So that beauty of the Lord is available to his devotee who chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And that same Lord has decided to do that as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I offer myself. Just like we were discussing how the sannyasis in Varanasi, he just gave a little sample of his beauty by manifesting his effulgence. And they were attracted. Enough for them. All those Mayavadi sannyasis, they instantly got attracted. They instantly got attracted. Little bit he has to show. Lord Chaitanya is looking very beautiful. Young sannyasi, golden colored, very tall, and his eyes were blooming, always with tears. And he was always with his lips, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. He was always chanting. And he was lost in Krishna. And he was looking very attractive. And like that, he would dance, raising his huge, long arms. And his beautiful body was seen by everybody. As soon as they saw him dancing, I surrender myself to you. Just by his dancing and chanting, everybody became attracted. Everybody became attracted. So a person today can also achieve what Kapila is describing here by chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is very amazing offer. Very amazing, which is only available to those who have totally purified themselves and are totally in love with me. I am giving it to you. Whoever you are does not mind. Even if you are Jagai and Madai, you chant. And you can purify yourself to this level very fast. So, isn't this a very amazing offer? Definitely it is. And are we not greatly super stupid if we don't take it up? Definitely. So, in Lord Chaitanya's Lila, we are challenged by Lord Chaitanya. I dare you to bypass my beauty, my offer, my compassion, my mercy. I dare you to bypass it. That's the proposal. Let's see how you escape my mercy. I come and sit on your lap. I come and sit on your tongue. So it's very difficult. You have to be highly super duper unfortunate to be able to avoid it. And some do. That's the worst part. So we are poised to get something very, very valuable, most valuable. And unfortunately, we may not know the value. And although we don't know the value, Krishna is offering. It's a risk he's taking. It's a risk, very high risk. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By his mercy only everything happens. So sometimes we take great credit for our own spiritual life. I say that we should always factor in, like you have factor of safety every time you design something. In Lord Chaitanya's time, our progress in spiritual life has got a huge factor of Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's not all you're doing. It's just not all you're doing alone. We endeavor very less. The huge chunk of it is the mercy of the Lord. It is not like this in previous times. In Satyuga and all, mostly it's your labor, like is described here. In Kali Yuga, it has to be the Lord's mercy for us to become devotees. So if we become devotees, we can never forget the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is a huge proportion, a huge factor in our success. So we are always dependent on the mercy of Hari Guru Vaishnava in order for us to realize these wonderful facts and achieve success. Om Tat Sat. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Any question or comment? Any question or comment?